Irish national team soccer player. She's the one on the right getting ready for an amusement park ride. She posted this on her Twitter page. Take a look and a listen.
Fine. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. Do we know where we're gonna go?
I love Megan. Now, my daughter, former Florida State soccer player. A lot like her, they have a lot of international, one of the best programs in college soccer. But that my reaction, well, for one, you can't get me in something like that. But
Would
if
you go with me? Would one of you guys go with me?
Oh, I'll do stuff like that. Cece is a long-established
Cece,
not doing it.
Stay on the ground and watch Nick and I go up and do it.
No, that's not going to happen. I'm not a thrill seeker.
Okay.
I've had enough thrills in my life. I don't go fast and all that. I don't go up and down. No, I don't do. I'm a very average human being. Very average.
No, you're not.
Very average.
That is funny.
Where was she? Do we know?
I'm sure it was at one of the.
That looked like a dope ride. That looked fun. I like stuff like that. I mean,
let's do it.
Okay, Jenna.
There's one right at Great Adventure. You and I will spend a Saturday together. We'll drive there together
in the
same car.
No.
We'll listen to
Nick, call your agent, Nick. Call your agent.
We'll listen to Barry Manilow. It'll be the best afternoon ever.
Man, I'd do that ride with no straps on for that car ride.
That is really rude, by the way.
Sorry, apologies.
Really rude.
You're right.
Stories to start your morning. Not nearly as interesting this conversation, but the control room thinks this is. Former UCLA quarterback Josh Rosen worked out for the Browns and the Giants on Tuesday. Browns have that top pick. Giants have that second pick in the draft. A little bit of a coincidence there. CC, any chance Rosen is taken top 2?
There's got to be a chance. I mean, if the Cleveland Browns, if they're just a normal NFL team and not the Browns, you'd have to say they have to have the top 3 quarterbacks on as far as that first pick. And they're thinking about. We know Josh Allen because we know all the draft experts have Josh Allen there. That's the only reason why Josh Allen is there. Sam Darnold, who they believe might be the safest pick, and then probably the best thrower of the football is Josh Rosen. So yes, he should be considered for the top pick. And yes, it could go Darnold to Cleveland, Rosen to the Giants.
I believe the only way Rosen doesn't go top 2 is if the Browns draft Josh Allen at number 1. Because then with Darnold at number... Because I think either the Giants are drafting Josh Rosen or they are trading the pick to a team that wants Josh Rosen. The only way that gets screwed up is if Josh Allen goes 1 and everything I just described for Rosen then applies to Sam Darnold at number 2. So I do think, yes, there is a very good chance Josh Rosen goes in the top 2 of this draft.
All right, to the NBA draft now. Oklahoma's Trae Young declared yesterday for the NBA draft. Of course, a few weeks ago, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said he's considering changes to the one-and-done rule. CC, did Young make a mistake declaring for the draft?
I'm not going to say he made a mistake because he's in control of his own career. He's established himself as college basketball as one of the best players. Him and his father, I got a lot of respect for their relationship. If you want to look at it, YouTube, some of the things they've done together. His dad has coached him. He's had a huge influence on his life, a former college basketball player. So, no, I'm not going to say he made a mistake, but I'm just going to have to get used to this. Guys coming into the league when they have plenty of time to play in college and they're still not ready for the NBA. It's just something I'm going to have to get used to, that they're still developing, even though they're not ready to be in the NBA. His body's not ready. His lack of discipline, the shot selection is not ready. But based on the way the league and the draft is, does it make sense for him to stay in college? No, it don't make sense for him to stay.
And you're seeing right now some of the best rookies. Listen, Ben Simmons, who's going to win Rookie of the Year, he's 2 years removed from college.
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell, who's going to finish second in the Rookie of the Year, stayed 2 years. Kyle Kuzma was not a one-and-done player. Like, you're seeing a lot of the guys who are actually successful as rookies not be just the 1 year removed from high school as the one-and-done players are. I get why Trae's doing this. He's going to be a top 10 pick. He just led the nation in scoring and assists. I totally understand why he would go. but I think the culture shock for him as far as the level of competition, how his game's going to have to adjust, because that pulling up from 35, first of all, Steph wasn't doing that as a rookie, and Steph's a better shooter. I think that his adjustment level and defensively, how much he's going to be tested by point guards in this NBA, something he's going to have to adjust to quickly, and it's going to be tough for him.
All right, last one here. Let's talk Kyrie Ỉving. He's missed the last 4 games with a sore left knee. Now will reportedly be seeking a second opinion, but that doesn't mean the Celtics are done competing. Last night, Boston snapped the Thunder's 6-game win streak. This is a tough one for the Thunder. This is a 199 Celtics win. Boston has now gone 2-2 in Kyrie's recent absence, and they're still firmly in second place in the Eastern Conference. Nick, how have the Celtics been able to compete without Kyrie in the lineup?
I mean, I think you have to start with the head coach. You have to start with how hard the team plays every night. The defensive intensity that has been at a playoff level since game 1 and is sustained through game 73. And the overall depth of not elite NBA players, but NBA players who you are getting the most out of their abilities from. Terry Rozier, they drafted him. They talked him up when it came to trades. People didn't see it with Terry Rozier. People thought he was overdrafted in Boston. And then they developed him into the best version of himself. Greg Monroe, who I don't think you can play in the postseason, but they needed some guy to eat minutes and give you some low post scoring in the regular season. Anyone in the league could have had him. They bring him in. He was effective yesterday. Like, you are getting the most out of all your players. You are developing your players. And in close games, you have an edge every night because of your head coach. Every single night because of your head coach, you have a tactical edge. You saw it last night. A lot of teams go for the 2 to tie. The Celtics understand analytically, unless you have a wide-open layup, it makes more sense to go for a lower percentage 3 to remove the 50-50 proposition of overtime. They do that better than any team in the league. They're the best out-of-timeout team of any team in the league. I assign that to Brad Stevens, their brilliant head coach.
And that didn't start this year just because they got Kyrie there. Last year, with them having the best record in the East, you could see that Brad Stevens, he was going to be an elite coach. Now, with the lack of assets to play with, Horford not playing all-star basketball, his development of younger players, Jaylen Brown, he wasn't there last night, but his overall development as a basketball player, Tatum, as a 20-year-old, seeing him develop a jump shot, and having a very successful rookie campaign. It leads to not only the head coach, they're also basketball operation, Danny Ainge, and their ability to develop younger basketball players. Some organizations, you don't see that. You see guys go there and they don't actually get better. We see that in Boston. And anytime that you have a culture where you're going to have guys play defense in the NBA, you will have a chance to win every night because of that defensive intensity. And they have that there in Boston every night.
And keep in mind, they lost Gordon Hayward. Most of their guys, some of these guys are 20 years old that they're asking him to put big minutes in and play up against other guys the entire season, and that's a credit to what Brad Stevens has
Before
done.
we move on, I'm just going to put one thing out there just to keep in mind. If Kyrie does end up getting shut down, if Kyrie doesn't play in this postseason, we will then have to reevaluate the steal of the Kyrie Ỉving trade from the Cavs to the Celtics. Celtics are thrilled that they have Kyrie no matter what. But if Kyrie's knee is in a place to where, imagine if that trade doesn't happen. And with 9 days left in the season, Cleveland's like, Kyrie Ỉving might not be able to play in what is the last postseason with LeBron James, what that would mean for their ability to compete for a championship. So I hope Kyrie is able to play, but I also don't want the Celtics to have the mistake with Kyrie be the mistake with Isaiah. Play through the injury, and all of a sudden it hurts his ability long term. So that's just something to monitor as well.
It's never good when you go get a second opinion because you don't like the opinion of the first guy.
Correct. Absolutely right.
Don't get me started on the third opinion.
Nope.
New topic. After a season full of controversial catches and non-catches, the NFL is, in fact, making changes. NFL Vice President Troy Vincent says the committee plans